Hi, today you're going to be learning page 12 and 13 in All for Strings Book 1. This page is covering the four notes on the A string, A, B, C sharp, and D. Now, if you've already practiced the previous video, which is D, E, F sharp, and G, you've already learned how to play your three fingers on the D string. Now, we're doing the exact same thing on the A string. So if you haven't yet, make sure you practice playing D, E, F sharp, G on the D string. Now we're turning to page 12, and we're going to skip the first few because what we're going to do is just walk up together the four notes on the A string. So look with me at page 12, number 41. So this is page 12, number 41. It's called Up to New Note C Sharp. We're going to start with our open A, then place your first finger B, then place your second finger C sharp. Now we can walk down C sharp, B, and A. And if you're wondering, how do we know what notes our fingers are playing? Well, just remember your musical alphabet. If we're playing on the A string and we add one finger, now we're playing B, just like our alphabet, A, B. And if we add another finger, now we're playing C sharp. So you can guess for the next page, if you add your third finger and you add another note, we'll be playing the note D, but we'll come to that in a little bit. So let's look right now at song number 43 called French Folk Song. This is a really fun one. It's a good one to learn. And as we play, see if you can double check your technique. We want to keep a good bow grip all the way through using lots of bow and a good straight wrist. We don't want any pizza hands unless you're going to bring me a tray of pizza. So keep your wrist straight so that we can have our notes in tune and with a good clarity of sound. So this is number 43, French Folk Song. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, next is Hot Cross Buns, number 44. You should recognize these songs are the same ones that we played previously on page 10, but now we're just on the A string, playing the same fingers, but different note names. So let's look at Hot Cross Buns. As a reminder, when you have a note with a short line, that note gets 2 counts, and when you have a note with a long line, that note gets 4 counts. So really save your bow on the notes with the long line. Here we go, Hot Cross Buns. To play this, we're going to set our C sharp first. So set your first finger on B, and then set your second finger for C sharp. Now that we have both fingers down, we're ready to play. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now our final song, Mary Had a Little Lamb. Again, this is the exact same finger pattern as the previous page, page 10, but now we're on the A string. So make sure that we're staying on the A string. If you notice while you're playing that you hear, you're probably having too high of a bow angle and your bow is clipping the D string as well. So make sure that as you play, keep an eye on your contact point, which is where the bow meets the string, and you can see there if your bow angle is dipping a little bit over to the D string, and if it drops too low, it'll catch the E string. So we want it to be just right in the middle. If you're really having trouble with this, what will help you a lot is forget the notes, don't play any of your left-hand notes, and just play open A. And as you play, listen, and if you accidentally catch other strings, really watch the contact point and keep the bow straight all the way through. And when you can do 10 bows in a row, all the way through with a full bow without touching the other strings, then you're ready to add the fingers for a song like Mary Had a Little Lamb. So once we're all set to play on the A string, let's set our 2 fingers again, because our first note is C sharp. So we set our first finger for B, second finger for C sharp. Now we set our bow on the A string. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you have it, page 12 for A, B, and C sharp. We're going to look briefly now at page 13, which adds the third finger. Just like we added our third finger on the D string where we walked up 1, 2, and then 3 with our third finger touching the second finger, it's the same thing on the A string. A, B, C sharp, and then D. We want D to touch the second finger. So anytime that you see the note D on this page, on page 13, it will either tell you to play open D or to play, if it just says regular D, it's going to, without saying the word open, you're going to play that with your third finger on the A string. So let's look together at the D major scale up and down. This is number 48. So number 48 in our books, we're going to start with open D, then we set E, first finger, then we set F sharp, then we set G, then we play open A, then we play B, then we play C sharp with our second finger, and now we play D, touch your third finger. Now we're going to walk down, we should still have all three fingers down, so play D. Now lift your third finger, and you should have 1 and 2 down. We're going to play C sharp. Now lift the second finger, that's the note B. Lift the first finger, that's the note A. Now we need a freeze here. We're going to set 3 fingers on the D string, but we don't just throw them down and hope they land in the right place. We're going to walk up. You're going to set your first finger on E, second finger on F sharp, third finger on G. Now rock your bow, make sure that you're on the D string, and we're ready to play. Here's the note G, third finger on the D string. Now lift the third finger, play the second finger, that's F sharp. Lift the second finger, play the first finger, which is E. Lift the first finger and play open D. So you can see that anytime we're playing the open D, it will tell you. It'll say open underneath D. If it just says D now, you're going to play 3 fingers on the A string. So now let's take a look at the final song, which is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, number 50. To play this one, we just want to keep in mind that we're going to have to be changing our bow angle to play on both strings. So the book is really helpful here, and it adds these little stars. Anytime you see the star, that means that you're going to need to change your bow from the D to the A or from the A to the D. That'll help keep us from accidentally playing on 2 strings at once. So to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, we're going to start on the open D string. And I'll just play it through, and we'll talk about it in class. If you have any questions, you can let me know. As I play through, and you learn the notes, then when you're ready, just play along with me. So here we go. This is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're able to play 8 notes. We can play open D, first finger E, second finger F sharp, third finger G, open A, first finger B, second finger C sharp, and third finger D on the A string. With these 8 notes, we're ready to jump into the rest of the book. So the rest of the book has a lot of new songs, a lot of fun songs. It's going to be really exciting, but you'll notice the pages are no longer yellow, and we no longer have letter names on each of the notes. So from here on, we're going to be learning how to read the notes on the staff. So make sure you're really learned up on these first 13 pages and ready before we continue on learning how to read the notes on the staff. So happy practicing as you go through this, and if you have any questions, let me know.